Hi everyone, welcome to this video on lesson 7 of the variation and inheritance scheme of work. This lesson is on adaptations of predators and prey. And I think it's relatively straightforward, this lesson. Again, it's a bit of an I do, we do, you do, and it's just looking at lots and lots of different case studies and getting students to firstly notice the features that predators and prey have. Secondly, to identify from those features whether it's predator or prey. And you'll notice that I've started in the slides with a number of examples, and only after that have we then said, here are some common features of predators, here are some common features of prey. So it's really important to start with the concrete, start by looking at some actual examples, and then kind of give the abstract list afterwards. And then finally, we're going to practice with them and model the writing of how these adaptations help these organisms as predators or as prey. And there's a couple of things to add to this, because I think the structure of it is relatively straightforward, and you just model first and then maybe co-construct the second, get them to the third on whiteboards, and then we've got further examples to practice in the little booklet. A couple of things to say though. One, I say I've started with the concrete, but actually I've started with kind of exam-y question type things. It's worth showing lots of pictures and videos as well would be really useful here, so that they can see predators, an eagle circling and hunting, Attenborough videos of gazelles being hunted in their habitat and so on. All of those different things are really, really useful to bring in this idea of predators and prey. And then you can go into the examples and start looking forensically at those. The second thing to say is that within these slides, the explanations that we do have been limited essentially to say, okay, let's look at one example here. So this, what lizard is this? The basilisk lizard. The basilisk lizard has long legs, long tail, and webbed toes to help it run faster, and that's going to help it to escape predators. That's fine. What you want to do as well, though, and you might not write this explicitly in your explanation, but you want to frame it like this to students. We're coming back to this even bigger idea that, well, why is it handy to be able to escape predators? It's handy because then you're going to be able to pass on your genes, your genetic material to the next generation, and your species is going to be able to survive. Now, that's not an idea that's addressed explicitly in this lesson, because that's the idea of natural selection, and at the moment we're just focusing on the features and the adaptations in a simpler sense, but it's worth framing that to students so that they can see how this relates to the broader scheme of work that's building towards natural selection. So yeah, in this lesson you say, okay, it can run fast, therefore it escapes predators. You can frame it sort of as an aside, I suppose. Why is it important to escape predators? So that the species survives, so individuals can pass on their genetic material. Otherwise, I hope that lesson's straightforward, and we're going to have lots and lots of lessons like this where it's just loads and loads of examples for students to look at.